Ethan had always dreamed of exploring the stars, but nothing could have prepared him for the sight that spread before him now. He hovered just above the surface of the alien world in his small exploration shuttle, gazing at the dense, glowing forest below. Trees shimmered with light that pulsed softly like a heartbeat. Strange creatures darted between the trunks, some with wings like glass and others with fur that sparkled under the twin suns. The planet was beautiful, but dangerous. Ethan's mission was simple on paper: map the terrain, study its life forms, and report back to the Human Council. But every step he took reminded him that this world had secrets humans had yet to understand. He landed his shuttle on a clearing near a crystal-clear river. The air smelled sweet, almost like honey, but carried a sharp tang of metal. Ethan stepped outside, feeling the soft ground sink slightly under his boots. Around him, the forest seemed alive. Leaves shifted without wind, and faint whispers echoed through the trees. "Calm down, Ethan," he whispered to himself. "It's just the planet, nothing more." He pulled out his scanner and began recording flora and fauna data. Hours passed quickly as he walked further from the shuttle. Then, in the distance, he noticed something impossible. A structure, a palace, floated above the ground. It was enormous, made of a material that seemed liquid and solid at the same time, glowing faintly with colors that shifted like oil on water. No human architecture could ever reach this level of beauty and precision. Ethan's heart pounded. This isn't on the map," he muttered. He cautiously approached, stepping over roots and shimmering stones. The closer he got, the more he realized the palace seemed alive. Tiny lights moved along its surface, as if it were breathing. Suddenly, a soft hum filled the air. Ethan froze. The palace's doors, huge and covered with swirling patterns, slowly opened. A figure appeared. She was tall, graceful, and ethereal, with skin that shimmered faintly like the palace itself. Her eyes glowed softly, reflecting the light around her. "You are human," she said, her voice smooth and melodic. Ethan swallowed hard. "Yes, I am. I'm an explorer. My name is Ethan. I come in peace." The figure tilted her head slightly, studying him. "Few humans have reached this place. You are far from your world, yet you do not fear." I'm cautious," Ethan said, trying to hide his nervousness. "But I've always wanted to see worlds like this. Your palace, it's incredible." She stepped forward, her movements elegant, like flowing water. "I am Princess Lyra, the ruler of this world. I have observed your kind from afar. You are different, curious, brave." Ethan blinked. You've been watching humans?" Lyra's lips curved slightly. "Not many humans come here. They fear the unknown. You do not. That is rare." Ethan took a cautious step closer. "Your world, it's unlike anything I've ever seen. I mean, the plants, the air, even the ground feels alive." Princess Lyra smiled faintly. "It is alive. Every part of this world is connected, and every visitor leaves a mark." Ethan glanced at her carefully. "Visitor? Like me?" "Yes," she replied. "You have arrived at a time when the balance of my world is delicate. Few outsiders can remain untouched. And yet, you have walked here without fear. That is impressive." Ethan felt a mixture of awe and fear. "I didn't mean to. I just wanted to explore, to learn. I never expected to meet a princess." Lyra's gaze softened. "And yet, here you are. Perhaps it is fate." For a moment, neither of them spoke. Ethan studied her, noticing the details of her features, the shimmer of her hair that seemed like liquid silver, the subtle patterns on her skin that glowed softly, the calm yet powerful way she carried herself. "You must be tired," Lyra finally said. "Come, I will show you shelter." Ethan hesitated. I don't know if I should." "You are welcome," she said simply. "But do not mistake this for weakness. You have courage. That is rare among humans, and I value courage." With a nervous nod, Ethan followed. The interior of the palace was even more extraordinary than the outside. Light seemed to bend around the walls, forming shapes that moved like living art. Floating platforms replaced stairs, and corridors twisted in ways that made it hard to tell which way was up or down. Lara guided him to a chamber that overlooked a vast garden, glowing with plants that shifted colors. Rest here, eat, drink. Soon, we will speak more. Ethan sank into a chair that molded perfectly to his body. He reached out and touched a table that shimmered like liquid metal. It responded to his touch, rising slightly before settling back down. This is beyond anything humans could make, he whispered. Princess Lara stood nearby, observing him. Your kind builds with machines and tools. We build with harmony. We listen to the world, and it listens to us. That is the difference. Ethan nodded slowly. I think I understand. It's a beautiful. Lara's eyes softened. And it is fragile. The smallest disruption can create imbalance. That is why I observe outsiders carefully. And you are different. You do not disrupt. You adapt. Ethan felt a strange warmth in his chest. He had always thought humans were small, fragile, and often insignificant in the galaxy. Yet here he was, in the presence of someone powerful, someone alien and magnificent, who saw value in him. He looked at her, hesitating. Why me? Why do you care about one human? Lara tilted her head. Care is not the word. Observation, interest, curiosity. Your kind is unpredictable. You can surprise. You can endure. You can choose to rise above fear. And that is worth noticing. Ethan felt both honored and nervous. I don't know what to say. Then do not speak, Lara replied. Watch, learn, rest. Soon, you will face challenges that will show me your true nature. Ethan's heart skipped. Challenges? Lara's gaze was calm but firm. Yes, tests, not of strength, but of mind, heart, and spirit. You will have the chance to show who you are. Not as a human, but as a person. Ethan swallowed. I don't know if I'm ready for that. Few ever are, she said. But you have already taken the first step. You arrived here. You walked into the unknown. That is more than most. He looked out at the glowing gardens, the floating platforms, the endless mysteries of this world. I want to try. I want to understand your world. I want to do my best. Lara's lips curved slightly. Then rest tonight. Tomorrow begins the true test. And remember, courage is not the absence of fear. It is the choice to move forward despite it. Ethan nodded, feeling both anxious and excited. For the first time in his life, he realized that this was more than exploration. It was a chance to prove humanity itself could matter in ways he had never imagined. As he settled onto the soft, glowing bed, Ethan could not stop thinking about Princess Lara, her world, her grace, and the way she had seen something in him. It left a deep impression. He felt a spark of determination. He would rise to whatever challenges awaited. He would show that a human could be more than expected. And somewhere, in the depths of the palace, Lara watched him silently. There was something about this human that intrigued her, something that went beyond courage or curiosity. Perhaps, she thought, this human might change more than just himself on her world. The twin suns set outside, painting the sky with streaks of purple and gold. Ethan drifted into sleep, unaware of the incredible journey that awaited him. A journey that would test his heart, his mind, and his very humanity. Ethan woke to a soft golden light that filled the chamber. The palace seemed even more alive in the morning. Light moved across the walls, forming delicate patterns that danced like living artwork. He stretched and rose, feeling both nervous and eager. Today, Princess Lara had said, the true challenge would begin. A soft chime echoed through the room, and the floating platforms outside the window shifted, signaling that someone was waiting. Ethan took a deep breath and followed the subtle path toward the palace courtyard. He expected trials of skill or strength, but what he saw made him pause. Lara stood in the center of a large, circular courtyard. Surrounding her were structures made of translucent crystal, glowing faintly. She smiled as Ethan approached. Good morning, Ethan, she said. Today, you will begin your first challenge. Ethan's pulse quickened. What kind of challenge? Lara gestured to the courtyard. This is not a test of strength. It is a test of your mind and heart. You will navigate the labyrinth of truth. It is a place where illusions and reality mix. Your choices will reveal your character, Ethan glanced at the maze-like structures. A labyrinth? Yes, Lyra replied. It will challenge your perception, your courage, your empathy. Step inside and follow the path your instincts guide you. But be mindful your decisions matter. He nodded and stepped forward. The entrance shimmered like liquid light. As he passed through, the world changed instantly. The air became dense and heavy, filled with strange scent flowers he could not name, minerals that sparkled faintly, and a faint tang of electricity. The walls of the labyrinth were not solid. They seemed to shift, adjusting themselves according to his thoughts and emotions. Ethan moved cautiously. Every step made the floor ripple slightly, like walking on a quiet pond. Ahead, a fork in the path appeared, and two figures stood waiting. One was a wounded alien creature, its eyes wide with fear. The other was a glowing crystal that seemed to hum softly. A voice echoed in the air. Choose. Who will you help first? Ethan paused. His mind raced. The creature was alive and in need, but the crystal might hold knowledge or a key to progress. He could not predict the consequences. Yet, instinct guided him. He knelt beside the creature, offering comfort. Don't worry, he whispered. I will help you. The creature's eyes brightened, and a faint warmth spread through the labyrinth. Suddenly, the crystal's glow intensified, and a hidden path opened to the right. Ethan realized that the choice to show compassion had unlocked the next stage. He pressed forward, deeper into the maze. The wall shimmered and shifted again, forming images of Earth as home. He saw cities, mountains, and oceans, but they were distorted, sometimes burning or crumbling. Ethan's heart tightened. Do not let fear guide you, a distant voice said. He recognized Lyra's tone, calm and guiding. Your emotions can be both a tool and a trap. Ethan took a deep breath. He reminded himself why he had come here to explore, to understand, to prove himself not only as a human, but as a capable and compassionate being. He ignored the frightening images and continued, choosing the path that felt right rather than the one that seemed easiest. Hours passed, or perhaps minutes. Time was unclear in the labyrinth. Ethan encountered another test, a chamber filled with illusions of his deepest doubts. Shadows of humans failing, of himself falling short, of alien eyes judging him. He froze at first, unsure how to move. But then he remembered Lyra's words. Courage is the choice to move forward despite fear. Stepping carefully, he spoke aloud. I am here to learn. I will do my best, and I will not let fear control me. The shadows paused, then dissolved. A soft breeze carried him to the next chamber, where a small group of aliens were trapped behind energy barriers. They looked scared but also hopeful. Ethan could feel their fear and their trust. Without thinking twice, he worked to manipulate the energy around the barriers, using logic and observation to find weak points. Slowly, the barriers dissolved, and the aliens were free. You understand that strength is not always physical, Lyra's voice said, seeming to come from everywhere. You understand that empathy and intelligence are as powerful as any weapon. Ethan nodded, feeling a quiet pride. He realized the labyrinth was teaching him more than survival. It was teaching him to understand, to see beyond appearances, to value life and make careful choices. Finally, he reached a chamber filled with water that reflected the sky. On the surface floated small lights, like stars captured in liquid. In the center, Lyra herself appeared, standing on a platform above the water. You have done well, Ethan, she said. Few outsiders complete even the first stages. You have shown courage, compassion, and clarity of thought. But the labyrinth is only the beginning. Your final test will require more than skills. It will test your heart. Ethan stepped closer, his reflection shimmering in the water. What do I have to do? Lyra's eyes were gentle but serious. You must face your own desires, your own fears, and your own limitations. Only then will you prove that you can be more than a visitor. You must show that you understand what it means to be responsible, not just for yourself, but for others. Ethan's stomach tightened. Responsibility had always been something he thought of lightly, but in this place, it carried a weight he could feel pressing against his chest. He nodded, determined. I will do it. I will face whatever is necessary. Lyra's lips curved slightly. Good. That is the courage that matters most. As Ethan stepped onto the platform, the water rose and formed a glowing sphere around him. Within it, he saw visions of the alien world, its people, its forests, its cities, but also of the dangers that threaten it, natural disasters, rival factions, and outsiders who sought to exploit the planet. You must choose how you will act. Lyra's voice echoed in the sphere. Will you protect life? Will you show wisdom? Will you act with honor? Ethan felt a deep connection to the world around him. He thought of the wounded creatures, the trapped aliens, the beauty and fragility of this planet. He realized that this challenge was not just for Lyra or the labyrinth, it was for himself. To understand what it meant to act with purpose, to rise above fear, and to value life. He spoke clearly. I will protect those who cannot protect themselves. I will act with care and wisdom. I will honor life and show courage in every choice. The sphere glowed brighter, and Ethan felt a surge of energy. The labyrinth walls dissolved, and he found himself back in the courtyard, standing before Princess Lyra. She observed him silently for a long moment. You have done well, Ethan, she said finally. Your choices reveal a character that is rare, even among my own people. You have shown that humanity has the strength of heart that is worth noticing. Ethan felt a rush of relief and pride. Thank you, Princess Lyra. I didn't know what to expect, but I tried my best. Lyra nodded. And that is enough for now. But remember, this is only the first part of your journey. The next challenges will be even more personal, and they will test not only your courage and wisdom, but your understanding of connection, trust, and desire. Ethan's mind raced. Desire, connection? He realized that this journey was not only about survival or intelligence. It was about understanding a world and its people on a deeper level, and perhaps about understanding himself in a way he had never considered. Rest tonight, Lyra said, her voice softening. Tomorrow, we will begin the next stage. And remember, your choices shape not only your path, but the path of those around you. Ethan nodded, still processing the events of the day. He returned to the chamber, feeling exhausted but exhilarated. He had faced illusions, fears, and ethical dilemmas, and emerged wiser and stronger. For the first time, he felt the weight of responsibility and also the power of being able to act with courage and empathy. As he lay on the glowing bed, he thought about Princess Lyra. She was unlike anyone he had ever met, intelligent, graceful, and powerful, yet kind and perceptive. He wondered why she had taken such an interest in him, a simple human explorer. And yet, he realized that perhaps this challenge and those to come were about more than proving himself to her. They were about proving the worth of humanity itself. Outside, the twin suns dipped lower, casting a soft orange glow across the palace. Ethan closed his eyes, preparing himself for whatever awaited tomorrow. He knew that the next stage would be harder, more personal, and perhaps more revealing than the labyrinth. But he also knew one thing. He would face it with courage, empathy, and determination, just as he had today. And somewhere, in the quiet halls of the glowing palace, Princess Lyra observed him silently. She saw the determination, the compassion, and the bravery that few humans possessed. And she wondered not for the first time what it would mean if this human could truly rise to the challenges ahead. The morning sun rose slowly over the glowing palace, casting soft colors across the floating platforms and crystal gardens. Ethan awoke feeling a mixture of excitement and nervousness. Yesterday's labyrinth had tested his courage, intelligence, and empathy, and he had passed the trials. Yet today felt different. He sensed that Lyra intended to test something far more personal, something that went beyond mind and spirit. He dressed quickly and stepped onto the platform leading to the courtyard. The air was crisp, carrying the faint scent of alien flowers and ozone. Lyra was already there, waiting, her elegant figure bathed in the warm morning light. Good morning, Ethan, she said, her voice calm and melodic. Are you prepared for today's journey? I think so, Ethan admitted. Yesterday was challenging, but I learned a lot. I'm ready to continue. Lyra's glowing eyes softened. Today will be less about challenges and more about understanding. You have faced illusions and fears. Now, You will face choices that reveal your heart. Ethan felt a flutter of nervousness. Choices that reveal my heart? Yes, Lyra replied. You must show that you can understand connection, trust, and the bonds that tie beings together. Follow me. She led him through the palace corridors, where light shifted to form guiding patterns. As they walked, Ethan noticed details he had not seen before, small creatures moving between the walls, luminous gardens growing indoors, and pools of water reflecting the sky above. Every corner of the palace seemed alive, responding to Lyra's presence. They reached a large chamber with a floor made of smooth crystal. In the center, a holographic projection of the planet appeared, displaying cities, forests, rivers, and mountains. But the images shifted, showing not only beauty, but also danger. Rival factions of aliens moved across the hologram, threatening innocent populations. Natural disasters, storms, and fires appeared in other regions. Observe, Lyra said. This is your world to protect if you choose. You have the power to help, to guide, and to care. But your actions will be judged not by strength alone, but by empathy and judgment. Ethan watched the projections closely. He realized the enormity of the responsibility he was being shown. I don't know if I can do this, he admitted. It's so much, so many lives. Lyra stepped closer. Courage is not about knowing you can succeed. It is about choosing to act, even when the odds are overwhelming. Humans often underestimate the power of small actions. One decision can ripple across many lives. Ethan took a deep breath. He studied the projections and noticed that some factions were causing harm not out of malice, but ignorance. He realized that understanding and guidance might be more effective than confrontation. Carefully, he moved his hands, selecting interventions that would redirect the factions toward peaceful resolutions. A soft light glowed around him, and he felt a surge of warmth. The projections responded positively, disasters lessening, conflicts diminishing. For the first time, Ethan understood that even as a human, he could influence worlds beyond his own. Lyra's gaze held a mixture of pride and curiosity. You are beginning to understand. Your choices reflect not only intelligence, but compassion. That is rare, even among the most advanced species. Ethan felt a warmth in his chest. Thank you, Princess Lyra. I want to do what is right. I want to help. Lyra nodded, then motioned for him to follow her. She led him to a quiet garden, far from the holographic projections and shifting lights. Here, flowers glowed softly, and small streams flowed gently between crystalline stones. Birds with translucent wings flitted between the trees, their songs melodic and soothing. Rest here for a moment, Lyra said. You have shown wisdom and courage, but now comes a test of the heart. You must confront not only the world, but also your own feelings. Ethan sat on a stone bench, feeling the serene beauty of the garden. My feelings? He asked. About what? Lyra's eyes met his, soft but direct. About connection, about care, about desire. You have faced challenges, but now you will face truth. Your instincts, your choices. Can you act with honesty even when it is difficult? Ethan felt a rush of realization. This was not about physical skill or cleverness. This was about who he was, his honesty, his capacity to feel, his ability to understand and respect another being. He nodded, determined to face it. Lyra stepped closer, her gaze unwavering. You have impressed me, Ethan. Your courage, compassion, and intelligence have proven that humans can be worthy of respect in ways many aliens cannot comprehend. But there is another question, one that is both simple and profound. Ethan's heart pounded. What question? Lyra's voice was gentle, yet filled with quiet authority. Do you desire me, Ethan? Do you wish to share your life with me, not as a guest or observer, but as a partner, as a mate? The words hung in the air. Ethan felt a wave of emotion he had never experienced before: surprise, awe, admiration, and something deeper, something warm and unfamiliar. He looked at Lyra, her form glowing softly in the garden light, and he realized that he had grown to care for her not just as a ruler, not just as a mysterious alien being, but as someone he could respect and admire. Ethan hesitated. Words felt inadequate. I care for you, Princess Lyra. I admire you. You have shown me a world beyond my imagination, and I respect you deeply." Lyra's expression softened. Respect is only part of it. Desire, partnership, trust, these are choices, not instincts alone. Can you choose? Ethan took a deep breath. He thought of the labyrinth, the tests, the holographic projections of her world, the compassion he had shown, and the courage he had displayed. He realized that desire was not simply an emotion, it was a choice to stand together, to act with trust, and to commit to understanding one another. "Yes," he said finally, his voice steady. I choose to be with you, Princess Lyra, not because of your power, or your beauty, or your world, but because I wish to stand with you, to share an understanding, respect, and life itself." Lyra's eyes brightened, and a faint glow surrounded her. "You understand, Ethan. Your choice honors not only yourself, but your kind. Few humans could rise to such clarity of heart. Few could understand that partnership is built on trust, courage, and empathy." Ethan felt relief and warmth spread through him. I didn't know if I could, but I wanted to try. I wanted to be worthy of your trust and respect." Lyra stepped closer, gently placing her hand on his. The warmth of her touch was unlike anything Ethan had felt before, soft, calming, yet full of quiet strength. "And you have succeeded. You have shown that humanity is capable of more than many realize. That courage, empathy, and honesty can shine even in the farthest reaches of the galaxy." Ethan looked into her eyes, feeling a deep connection. I never imagined I could feel this way about someone from another world. But I do, and I want to stand with you, Princess." Lyra smiled faintly. "Then you shall. Your choice today marks a turning point not just for you, but for both our worlds. Humanity's qualities, its courage, compassion, and intelligence are rare gifts in the galaxy. And you, Ethan, have shown them in abundance." For a long moment, they stood in silence, hands gently touching, surrounded by the serene glow of the garden. Ethan felt a sense of belonging he had never known. He realized that this journey was more than exploration, it was a bridge between species, between hearts, and between worlds. Finally, Lyra spoke, her voice soft but firm. "Tomorrow, you will face the final stage of your trials. It will test how you act under pressure, how you protect others, and how you uphold the values you have shown. But tonight, rest. You have proven yourself worthy in ways many could not even imagine." Ethan nodded, feeling a deep sense of gratitude and awe. "Thank you, Princess Lyra. I will rest, and I will be ready." As he left the garden, he glanced back at her. The princess's gaze lingered on him, thoughtful and measured. There was a spark of curiosity, a hint of admiration, and perhaps something more, something beyond protocol or duty. Ethan felt a thrill of possibility. That night, as he lay on the glowing bed, Ethan replayed the day in his mind. The labyrinth, the holographic projections, the garden, and Lyra's question all had tested him in ways he had never expected. But he realized that the most important test was not the challenges or illusions, it was the choice he had made from his heart. For the first time, he understood that humanity's true strength lay not in machines, weapons, or technology, but in courage, empathy, and honesty. And for the first time, he felt that these qualities had been recognized and valued by someone extraordinary, someone who might become more than a princess in a distant palace, but a partner, a friend, and perhaps even a part of his life outside. The twin suns set, casting a gentle glow across the palace. Ethan closed his eyes, feeling a sense of peace and anticipation. He knew that tomorrow would bring new challenges and that the journey was far from over. But he also knew one unshakable truth. He had chosen with his heart, and that choice had changed everything. Ethan awoke to the soft hum of the palace as light poured through the crystalline windows. Today was the final stage of his journey, the moment when all his courage, wisdom, and compassion would be tested together. He felt a mixture of excitement and nervousness, but also a deep sense of determination. He stepped onto the floating platform, which guided him to the main courtyard. Princess Lyra was waiting, her presence calm yet commanding. The courtyard had transformed overnight. Crystalline towers now formed an arena-like circle, and streams of glowing water intertwined through the ground. The air carried a faint electric energy, as if the planet itself was aware that a momentous event was about to unfold. "Good morning, Ethan," Lyra said, her voice serene. "Today, you face the final test. You have shown courage, wisdom, and compassion. But now you must demonstrate your ability to act under pressure, to protect life, and to uphold the values you have learned." Ethan nodded. "I understand, Princess. I'm ready." Lyra motioned toward the center of the courtyard. A small group of aliens appeared, trapped within a complex energy field. Their eyes widened as they realized their situation, and Ethan felt a surge of urgency. This was no illusion. These were real beings in need. "You must free them," Lyra said. "But the challenge is not only in the method. You must act without hesitation, using intelligence, empathy, and courage. Every choice matters." Ethan approached carefully. He examined the energy field, noticing patterns that pulsed like a heartbeat. He realized that brute force would not work. He had to understand the rhythm and respond accordingly. Using his knowledge from previous trials and observing subtle cues, he began manipulating the energy field. His hands moved swiftly but precisely, creating small openings and guiding the aliens to safety one by one. During the process, one of the energy nodes intensified unexpectedly, threatening to trap the last alien in a dangerous surge. Ethan felt panic rise but forced himself to stay calm. He remembered Lyra's words, "Courage is the choice to act despite fear." With a steady hand, he redirected the energy, saving the alien just in time. The courtyard fell silent. Ethan stood there, breathing heavily, his heart pounding. Lyra stepped forward, her expression one of admiration. "You have succeeded, Ethan," she said softly. "You have shown that humanity's true strength lies not in power or tools, but in courage, compassion, and intelligence. You have proven that humans can rise above fear, understand others, and act with honor." Ethan felt a warmth in his chest, a mixture of pride and relief. "Thank you, Princess Lyra. I did my best." Lyra's gaze softened. "And that is more than enough. You have completed the trials and shown that your heart is strong, your mind is wise, and your spirit is pure. But there is one final choice remaining." "Your choice?" Ethan frowned slightly. "My choice?" "Yes," Lyra replied. "You have proven yourself worthy not only as a guest or an observer, but as someone who could walk beside me, as an equal, as a partner. Now, you must decide if you wish to take that step. Do you desire to join me not as a human visitor, but as someone who shares in the life and responsibilities of my world?" Ethan felt a surge of emotion. He thought of the labyrinth, the garden, the holographic projections, and every challenge he had faced. He thought of the trust Lyra had placed in him, the lessons he had learned, and the connection that had grown between them. "Yes," he said firmly, "I choose to stand with you, Princess Lyra. I choose to share in your life, your world, and your responsibilities. I want to be by your side not because of power or position, but because I respect you, admire you, and care for you deeply." Lyra's eyes glowed softly, and a gentle smile spread across her face. "Then you have made the choice that matters most. Not all who arrive here have the courage to act with honesty and heart. You have shown that humanity possesses qualities worth celebrating: courage, empathy, and integrity." Ethan stepped closer, feeling a sense of unity he had never known. "I never imagined I could find such connection on a world so far from Earth. But now, I see that understanding and respect can cross any distance, even between species." Lyra extended her hand, and Ethan took it without hesitation. A warm glow surrounded them, as if the palace itself acknowledged their bond. "From this moment, you are no longer a visitor," she said. "You are my partner, my companion, and the human who has earned the respect of my people. Together, we will protect this world, learn from one another, and demonstrate the strength of unity between our species." Ethan felt a rush of joy and purpose. "I promise, Princess, I will honor your trust, your world, and your people. I will act with courage, compassion, and wisdom." Lyra's smile deepened. Then we begin a new chapter not just for you and me, but for our worlds. Humanity has much to offer, and your actions here have proven that courage and empathy can shine across the galaxy. The palace shimmered, as if celebrating the moment. Light flowed through the courtyard, reflecting the union of two worlds. Aliens from nearby regions emerged, witnessing the human who had proven himself worthy. They bowed in respect, acknowledging not only Ethan's achievements, but the promise of cooperation and understanding. Between species. Ethan looked around, overwhelmed by the beauty and magnitude of the moment. He had arrived as a simple explorer, uncertain of his place in the galaxy. Now, he stood as a symbol of humanity's potential, a representative of courage, compassion, and intelligence in a world far from Earth. Lyra guided him to a ceremonial platform, where they stood together, hand in hand. The light around them pulsed gently, mirroring the rhythm of life on the planet. "Ethan," she said softly, "your journey has shown that humans are capable of greatness. Your heart, mind, and spirit have proven that humanity can rise above fear, act with wisdom, and honor life. Will you continue this journey with me?" Ethan nodded, his voice steady and full of conviction. "Yes, Princess Lyra, I will continue with you, wherever this path leads. Together, we will face challenges, protect life, and learn from one another." "I am ready." Lyra's eyes shone with a mixture of pride and warmth. "Then let this union be a symbol not of power or conquest but of trust, respect, and shared purpose. Humanity's virtues, courage, empathy, and integrity are rare in the galaxy. You have shown them in abundance, and now we move forward together." The palace erupted in a soft symphony of light and sound, celebrating the union. Aliens and humans alike recognized the moment as a turning point, a bridge between species. Ethan felt a deep sense of belonging, knowing that his choices, actions, and heart had led him here. He was no longer just an explorer. He was a partner, a protector, and a representative of humanity's best qualities. As the twin suns set, casting warm colors across the palace, Ethan and Lyra stood side by side, gazing out at the horizon. They knew challenges would come, dangers, conflicts, and uncertainties, but they also knew they would face them together. Humanity's courage and empathy had earned a place among the stars, and Ethan had proven that one human could make a difference in a world far from home. Lyra turned to him, her voice gentle yet filled with quiet strength. "Ethan, our journey has only begun, but today we have shown that trust, courage, and understanding can bridge worlds. Together, we will protect life, foster cooperation, and demonstrate the strength of our hearts." Ethan smiled, feeling a sense of purpose and fulfillment he had never known. "I am ready, Princess Lyra, ready to face anything, as long as we stand together." And so, the human and the alien princess began their shared journey. What had started as an exploration had become a testament to humanity's potential, a story of courage, empathy, and the bonds that could form across galaxies. Together, they represented hope, unity, and the promise that humanity's best qualities could shine in even the most distant and extraordinary worlds. The palace glowed softly under the starlit sky, a beacon of possibility. And for Ethan, this moment marked not only the culmination of his trials, but the beginning of a life filled with purpose, connection, and the enduring strength of the human heart.